Hi, Aries. Hi, my Martian fire signs. Okay, Aries, we're going to do your weekly love and life message and also your daily message all in one fell swoop today. I'm doing that for the fire signs today. So for today, the main energy for you, Aries, is the Three of Swords, but the challenge is the Six of Cups. Also, they wanted me to use the Life Coaching Oracle deck. Celebration, there's going to be some kind of a celebration, but a past life connection might be in focus for you. And it's one that requires healing. You're currently healing past life wounds. Automatic negative thoughts. Yeah, the Three of Swords. You need to fortify your auric field right now. It's time to call in energy protection to shield and clear and strengthen your aura at this time. I feel like Spirit's trying to say today there may be some kind of a party or a celebration in focus. Someone that you haven't seen in a while. It could be family, a romantic partner, past life connections. You might be having automatic negative thoughts about going to this celebration or this event. They might be having those thoughts. But the issue is pessimism, the Three of Swords. That speaks to also communicable disease and illness. So wash your hands, wear a mask. Somebody might get sick today. There's also just maybe heartbreak and pessimism. And the reason for it is the Six of Cups. That speaks to children, nostalgia, the past, and a desire to have no bridges burned. So there is an opportunity today to maybe make an amends of some kind with someone, but not if you're immediately thinking negative things. On the other hand, you know, I'm a Libra, so I'm going to say on the one hand, on the other hand, maybe don't ignore negative thoughts. Like gird your loins. If you go into any kind of a party or a celebration or you're invited to something like that, yeah, the past may haunt you a little bit. A specific person from the past may haunt you a little bit. Just focus on fortifying your auric field. Protect your energy. Healing is in focus right now. There really could be some amends made to some degree. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Also, Aries, the main themes right now of the week are upheaval, so the shock, the unexpected, and trouble. Someone is hoping, waiting, expecting, and manifesting a second chance. And the main catalyst or the challenge, though, is loyalty. How much can you trust this person? How much can they trust you? Will there be reliability? Will there be dedication? Take this as it resonates for you. It may or may not be romantic partnership. This could be happening in career or with friends as well. I'm hearing, well, first of all, it's a full moon in Aquarius today, and then we're moving into Pisces. And if you watch my lunar forecast, you're going to see that it's all about needing to be shocked into a state of emotional awareness and getting real about how you really feel, like our deeper why, our deeper emotional why. So I'm not surprised to see a card that says upheaval and shock. You know, Aquarius does that. Hi, I'm going to turn everything upside down and freak you out because I want you to grow as a human. So that's kind of what's happening right now with the full moon in Aquarius. But someone may be hoping for a second chance. It could be you, that could be someone else. It's going to shock you. Loyalty. I wanted to know a little bit more about this. They wanted me to use, oh God, you guys, I can't remember the name of this deck. I'm an airhead. I can't remember the name of any of my decks. We have Sovereignty and Solitude coming out. Pulled out my oracle deck that my daughter made for us a couple of years ago and said, what's this about? Peer pressure, society, and friends. This is too much for me. I'm fawning for a serious relationship. The catalyst or challenge is whether or not it's going to be a healthy relationship. Ooh, fight. You weren't my first choice. Okay. Methinks someone is struggling to be alone and single. Well, that's not hard to experience on planet Earth because the entire fucking planet pretty much, and society at large, makes us feel like shit for being single, standing up for ourselves, having sovereignty. So that's Libra energy, really wanting sovereignty, or like having sovereignty and solitude. Maybe someone felt pressured to do that, but now the pressure is on to like either fix the relationship or move on to a new relationship. Someone's saying, this is too much for me. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I do want a serious relationship after all. I want a second chance. Maybe it's just a second chance at love in general, but the question is going to be, is there going to be loyalty, and is the relationship going to be healthy? Okay. Yeah, that's a main theme. So second chances, but is there going to be loyalty? And you could be feeling this way, or someone else could be feeling this way. It's like, it is kind of scary to be single. And after a while, it's like, oh, I don't know. I maybe want a second chance. And it's like, yeah, well, is it going to go the way it did the last time? Let's talk about it. So in the recent past, we had the Knight of Cups, the Fool, and the Knight of Wands. Some of you were dealing with a water sign, or maybe you have had a lot of water sign energy. Knight of Cups is super romantic and creative, very idealistic, sometimes a little unrealistic, but the Knight of Cups is the opposite of bitterness. I love that for you, because Aries has a shadow trait of bitterness that you guys experience sometimes, and that just really cramps your style, because you guys are just like, you're the emperor, but you're also the fool. I think in the past, I mean, we have the fool right here. So you were like a kid in a candy store, really sweet, almost naive, hopeful, hold my beer and watch this. Let's just go for it. So you started a new cycle, maybe in a relationship or just in your own, feeling really idealistic, the opposite of bitter, and also like really excited. Didn't matter what you were doing in the recent past, you were feeling really good about it. Also, Aries does exhibit a lot of Knight of Cups energy, because you are idealistic and you're highly creative and you can be so sweet. And you're like, yeah, I mean, let's just fuck around and find out. Why not? Let's just go for it. Let's just jump right in. This is really exciting. It's all over the place. It was kind of wild. Maybe it took off a little too quickly or something like that, Aries, because it felt good. But now this week, your current energy is the Eight of Swords. Uh-oh, we're overthinking it. The Five of Wands, oh my goodness, there's lots of competing ideas and egos, and the Two of Pentacles. What do I do here? If I do this, this could happen. If I do this, this could happen. What is this really about? I clarified it and I got 4 cards, which means stability and a solid foundation is very important. And I'm not surprised by that either, because the line 1 archetype of the investigator is impacting our energy body today, the 19th. In both of the moon transits, the investigator archetype is going to be influencing the whole planet, which means human design 101, astrology 101, quick and dirty. Stability and having a firm foundation before we move forward is going to be really important to everyone, including you. So you're going to feel a little nervous about a decision you make next. You're going to want more information. You're going to want to do it your own idiosyncratic way. You won't want to be too influenced about by other people. And there is influences of other people, I think. I think you're worried about clashing opinions, ideas. There's inner conflict. You might be imagining worst case scenarios about outer conflict between others. And classic Aries, you're like, well, I take myself seriously. I have to be in charge. It's all on me to figure out what to do. But you're going to feel an insecurity because the I Ching archetype of the investigator is influencing everything. So you won't want to move forward until you have all the facts, all the information. Stability is really important for you right now, but also emotional authenticity. So this is what this is all about. The Two of Wands, we have a choice. The Empress, the Queen of Cups, and Judgment. Some of you might be dealing with a Scorpio. You might be dealing with 2 different people, a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or possibly also a Taurus or a Libra. One is the queen of all queens, and the other is just an aspect of that queen. The Empress is all 4 queens in the tarot combined. But then she's splitting off a bit into this Queen of Cups. I feel like Spirit is saying, okay, look, you do need to listen to your heart today. Everything about the way we're starting this week is emotionally charged, but your emotions are temporary. And you have to ask yourself how you want to handle this. In particular, if we've got children involved, family involved. Some of you have a choice of how to handle something. You can either be nurturing and creative in suggestion, but not like do things for others. Or you could be a little bit more emotionally giving, but you'd have to make a smart emotional choice. Some of you also have a choice between two different people and who to honor. And these two people, one of these two people may show up at an event. I'm also hearing that some of you have to have like, you might be going to like your kids' open house this week, or like a Girl Scout or Boy Scout meeting, or maybe it's like a birthday party and your ex, it's like a co-parenting thing, and you and your partner's your ex's new partner might be there. You might have to be around an ex or someone that you're not sure you want to be around. You might not be sure who to invite, but because Judgment's showing up, it's like you have to make a decision about how you want to move forward and who you want to be in this scenario. Watch out for illusion, codependency. Stay very grounded at this time. You can be loving without being a doormat. You're going to need to make a practical choice. You're going to need to get out of your head. You have to recognize that you can't police everybody around you all the time. You're also you may have very strong conflicting inner dialogue at this time, Aries. And the decision you make is a big one. You have to stop worrying about peer pressure, listen to your own past judgment, and you have to pick a path that is in alignment with your long-term goals. Not your short-term goals or your short-term mood, your long-term goals and a long-term emotional impact. But in the near future, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and Justice. That's Libra energy. Okay, money, 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 time and resources will be on your mind. Well, the way you're going to be feeling in the near future is a consciousness of lack. This may hit your self-esteem. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help at this time, Aries. You could have resources right around you, but you might feel a little too proud to ask for help. Like the Five of Pentacles is like a break-even card. It could be worse, but it's not sexy. The way you're going to see yourself in the near future is actually a really good reaction to this feeling. Like if you're feeling like you barely have enough, the way to see yourself is being conservative with finances and resources and money. Holding back and holding on, not having a lot to give, feeling like you can't contribute equally in relationships, and justice is coming out here. Okay, so this is about a contract. This is about consequences. This is about fairness. You may be facing something in a court of law. This could have to do with bills, wills, mortgages, marriages. All the ways that justice shows up in real life in the 3D plane. And the purpose of me doing tarot is to talk about how your life is being impacted in the 3D plane by the spiritual realm and vice versa. The two are completely connected. And I was like, all right, well, what is this about? The Star, but the Hanged Man, the Devil, and the Nine of Swords. It's a lot of major arcana. We have the Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck, so family could be in focus, marriage, children, the community. Also, the Seven of Swords is here, and the Five of Swords. All right. Running from a fight. Aries, you may be really angry about something right now, but you also feel the need to be strategic. Watch out for a sense of entitlement. You don't get to have your way all the time. I know that was hard to hear, but sometimes you guys can be bossy. Although I love that about you. I have some Aries in my chart too. I get it. I think that in the near future, you will still be hopeful. Like things can get better. However, Spirit is challenging you to see the bullshit toxicity that you cannot ignore. And anything that you have been part of or contributing to that has left you in a place where you feel like this. Because you might have done a little bit of that to yourself. And now we must face a consequence. And it's going to force you to address something that's difficult to look at. It's going to make you really anxious. There could be an Aquarius, a Pisces, or a Capricorn involved. You could have those in your chart, and Spirit's like, hey, look, if you want to move forward in this situation, you cannot ignore the things that, like the real problems, like money problems, executive function problems, decision making. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, but something's got to change. Something has definitely got to change. Also, some of you need to hear that you're not a one-person army. And this may all be influencing a second chance. And I think that family might be involved and kids may be involved. The person in your energy, I used a completely different deck and we got the Queen of Cups again. Okay. So I think that some of you have a choice between like a more motherly, more mature, maternal figure and maybe someone who's a little bit more Piscean or Scorpionic. Each has its merits, but you have to decide which energy works better for you long term. Okay, think about the long term. Think about how you got to this sort of uncomfortable, anxious place you are now. Because we've got this Queen of Cups showing up here. Someone in your environment sees themselves as the Queen of Cups, or perhaps they are connected to a Queen of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. The way this person's feeling is the Six of Pentacles, and their action towards you is the Five of Cups. Clarifying this is the Five of Swords, the Star, and the Queen of Wands, Two of Cups. They want to talk to you. Here it is about the Three of Swords and about things not working out and too many people getting involved and then like being all guarded. Y'all need to go talk by yourselves. I was like, all right, well, what does this person want to say to Aries? I wish I had treated you better. I see life differently now. Do I still have a chance? I want to feel that way again is down here. Somebody does want a second chance with you. And furthermore, you need to know, Aries, that this person is just as worried about assets and resources as you are too. They may need something. They may need the same thing that you need. They may be sorry that there was a lack of equal give and take. But I also get the strong suspicion that this person just doesn't want to see you be independent. I notice that Aries needs a lot of independence in their life, more so than the other fire signs. And other people get mad when you claim your sovereignty, when you individualize in any way. I'm hearing that some of you really want to do something for yourself, and that may cause you to need to be a little bit more stingy with your own resources, and someone else around that might not like it. I'm also getting the sense that it's this person's energy. Like they tried to make it on their own, and then they're like, oh my God, I can't handle that. Here's why they can't handle it. Healing. Somebody just wants to come back to you, Aries, or you conversely may want to come back to someone else just because you haven't given yourself enough time to heal. My grandmother used to say, time takes time, my dear one. Time takes time. Yeah, it's a good day and a good week to make amends, but I would be careful committing to anyone or anything moving forward unless you're absolutely certain there's going to be loyalty, that there can be true healing. And what's with this need to be strategic? I mean, some of you are like, you know what, I just want to break out on my own. And they're like, no, come back. I'm seeing everything differently. I wished I'd treated you better. And there could be family and children involved, multiple generations. So it is a week of sovereignty. But if solitude is feeling uncomfortable for you or someone else, tell them I'm not 100%, I'm not your only resource here. Like other people and other things are a resource as well. All right, Aries, so that's what's happening this week. Thanks for being here, Moon Body Aries. I'm always listening to the universe for you. Take care. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.